Welcome back to the Couples Money Revelation Podcast. I thank you so much for your long patience. It's been a pretty nutty 6 or 7 weeks. We had football with my son, which takes up a lot. I volunteered a lot for that. I've been doing some other things, family things as well, coming up. We actually just about 3 or 4 weeks ago had a little bit of small flooding that screwed up part of our carpeting over here by the basement that I'm staring at right now. And everything was covered by insurance. We got new carpet, new baseboard, a few new baseboards, all new paint, you guys, a new vanity. So everything is covered. Everything is great. All I can recommend to you is do a full drain on your toilet and water system every year, pretty much, if they're older. That's all I can say. I'm not an insurance person, but that's recommended if you're a house owner. Make sure you do that pretty frequently. Um, so what are we diving into this season? Well, we're gonna have some awesome guests. I want to have more and more guests on, really get some mindset in some episodes that they can give some thoughtfulness to as well, because there's other great people out there in the small business world that I want to have on, a lot of great coaches as well that have great insight. But today we're going to talk kind of a part series. We're going to pull this in together here, pretty much all season on and off, of basically the beginning stages in your life and your relationship mostly, and what's important to discuss with your partner when you're dating or you're getting a little more serious, possibly engaged, that type of thing, getting ready to plan a wedding. Whether you're 20 years old or whether you're 50-year old doing all this and starting a whole new joint life together doesn't really make a difference. This is applicable everywhere. So basically, I kind of talked about this recently if you watched a few of my videos and read my newsletter, but not everybody's on my newsletter, which you should check out. You can subscribe right on my website as well, MadelineFinancialCoaching.com, or I have a link that I post out there pretty often. It's also in my bio of my social media, and it's twice a month, every other week. Nothing over the top. And basically, what I've been talking about is, a lot of people say step one, you know, is, try and grab a budget. Make sure you understand a budget, but also set up an emergency fund. Emergency fund is super important, you guys, especially the last few years. Everything costs way more money. Bad things. I didn't expect my water to back up as much as it did and cause all that. And we had to take a few $100s out of our emergency fund to get the process started and also cover deductible. Luckily, we had awesome insurance that covered it. But guys, not everyone has insurance. Some things, tires and, like I said, car related things don't have warranties anymore. Maybe it's an old car, you're going to have to pay for this stuff out of pocket. Emergency fund is absolutely an amazing goal to have. However, I'd have to say, like, sitting down and having like the open discussion first early in your relationship when it's getting serious. I mean, not like your first or second date, right? Although some people do now. You got to talk about, like, do you all have a budget together? Have we ever budgeted well? If not, what do we need to change? How do we do this? Are we on shared accounts possibly? A lot of people argue, well, you shouldn't be on a joint account until you're this or that, or you shouldn't have separate accounts. There's so many in betweens. You can have separate accounts, you can have joint accounts. I'm going to tell you right now, it doesn't make a difference as long as the bills are getting paid and as long as everything is organized, most importantly, and your life is flowing well. Now, if you're getting set back and your budget's out of control and you're overspending and it's just all hell breaking loose, well, then, yeah, we might have to talk about really joining those finances together to make sure that everything is on the same page. But some of the first questions that, you might bring up on like a date, right? Or if you guys are getting serious is, how much do you earn, right? You want to know this pretty early in your life, in your relationship, I should say, I would say. You know, People need to know how much you earn. Maybe it's after a few dates and you're like, wow, I might what if I get serious with this person in the next few months, and how much do you earn? Like, you got to show me what you do, basically. Okay, cool. So you're an assistant manager here making this much. Cool. What is your 5-year plan? Do you want to get promoted? You know, do you want to become like a corporate executive in this company? Or maybe this is a great job for now, and you're going to sit here and tell me, well, I'd rather do this and this and go back to school or, do this or that. That's a huge thing to know, you guys. Not just how much you earn, but what are your plans for the next 5 years? What if we get married in the next couple of years? And then all of a sudden I find out information in 2 years or 3 years that like, yeah, I didn't tell you this or that, but yeah, I'm gonna go look for another job. Well, that's nerve-wracking. Why didn't you tell me that a few years ago? So like being open about like what you want to do with your life, what you're currently earning, what you could potentially earn in the near future while this relationship is building through maybe an engagement, planning a wedding is crucial first. The second one is that I listed here is a tough one, right? It's how much do you spend? Ooh, that's a tough one, right? Because as you're early in a relationship, you want to know and get some hints if you're going to be with someone the rest of their life if they're spenders. I mean, spenders. I'm talking Macy's. Ooh, sign up for this credit card. Ooh, Target, sign up for this. You get 20% off today. Ooh, da, 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 da. Like if you're a spender and a shopaholic, which a lot of people are, or Amazon, that's another one, right? Yeah, that's obsessive. There's Amazon packages showing up every single day, right? Hmm. Yeah, you spend. So let's talk about it because we're going to be joint finances in the next couple of years if we get engaged and married and stuff like that. And I need to know if you're in all this credit card debt. That's the next one. What are your debts, right? That we're going to talk about. If you have a bunch of shopping credit card debts, if you might have a shopping problem, that's fine. If I'm getting married to you, then let's talk about it. Whatever that, I don't know what that looks like. It could be therapy. It could be, hey, let's get some help figuring this out. Maybe I can help you because I don't shop that much usually. So maybe I can show you some tips of, hey, do we need this? Do we want it kind of thing? And just set up something together, most importantly. Another one is the debts, obviously. Real quick, summarizing what I just said is like, do you have student loans? Do you have credit card debt? Do you have home equities? Do you have like what do you have debt wise? I've seen some stories, guys, over the years, not just in coaching, but banking as well. When I was at the credit union bank, where every once in a while, someone would come in, a couple, or I'd be coaching them in the last couple of years, and they'd be like, wait, you got that amount? Hold on a second. How come I didn't think it was that much? Or like, I didn't know that. Or, they come into the credit unions, they've been together for a few years and they're doing their joint account stuff and they pull their credit maybe to do a loan or whatever it is, rebuild their credit or whatever it is. And they'd be like, wait, you have how much in student loan debt? Uh, that is not a good thing. Like that's why you need to be open up front. Like, hey, I'm obviously going to school for PA or lawyer or this or that. I have a lot of student loan debt, or I have some student loan debt. This is roughly how much it is. Okay, that's fine. I still will love you. That's a lot of money, maybe. Maybe you'll panic a little bit, but you'll say, hey, that's good. We're telling this now because we got to set up a budget and you need to tell me in the next 5, 10, 15, 20 years, however long it's going to take to pay off, how we plan on paying this down and like what is the plan here? Um, Student loan debt's insane, you guys. It's absolutely insane. I paid off $70,000. I'm blessed that everything lined up perfectly over that 6.5, 7.5 years. In terms of building a family, I had a lot of stuff to do. I still did it, but man, it was stressful. And I know more people don't have the privileges paying off as much money per month or per year as we did for a few years straight. And it's a struggle. As long as you have a plan and you guys agree that the plan is, yeah, we can still do this. Might take a little bit longer, but as long as me and you work together, it's all good. Last but not least, what I want to talk about in this first episode, you guys, is how much you've saved. Another killer one. I have seen too many people in the years, like I said, in everything basically, that are even in their 40s, some in their 50s sometimes that say, I have no retirement, not a penny to my name. Or I have a small 401k with this amount in it, and that's it. That's terrifying. And that's a 40, 45, 50-year-old people, 55 people. Guys, I mean, like for real. And it's not judging, right? I mean, there's a lot of 18, 20, 25, 30-year-olds, 35-year-olds that don't have any money either. Same situation. But finding that out early in the relationship, saying, hey, how much do you have saved? Just let's break it down. Here's what I got saved. And it might not be a lot. It might be like a 401k and just say, hey, I have 401k and I got a small little savings account for 500, $1,000. And that's about it. Cool. As long as I know that and we know that, we got to make a plan to save together for the big things, the emergency funds down the road. If we have kids, how are we going to save for that down the road? I mean, what else? I mean, just general expenses and stuff like that. General savings accounts for retirement, you guys, outside of a 401k, whether it's a mutual fund or Fidelity or whatever it is, Wells Fargo. Maybe a bad example there. Okay, maybe not Wells Fargo, but you get my point. These are all conversations that I like to teach and coach early on in the relationship, you guys. Whether you're 20, 24, 44, 54, and just getting married. People get married older, guys. People get engaged. People are together and need to start worrying about joint expenses and joint thoughts and money wise together. And that's just a big part of what I want to talk about this year because I think that more and more people need to hear more suggestions and more coaching about early in the relationship because what I'm fearing, what I'm seeing is, you know, I'm coaching some people and I'm talking to some people that are like, man, I wish we would have found you 6 months ago, 12 months ago, 2 years ago, before we did this and this. Um, and a lot of it comes back to just not having a good joint communication and a joint budget and not starting from scratch and saying, hey, we slipped up. Here's what we need to talk about. Let's figure all this stuff out. And if we can't, we need to go get a financial planner, a financial coach, and we need to figure this out for a few months and get us back on the right path. So that's going to be a huge stepping stone towards my videos on social media, my newsletters, guys. I'm going to focus laser point on that on this podcast. Hopefully you're getting a lot out of this episode. And if you got any other suggestions, always comment or like everything, you guys. If you want to comment below, write me an email, shoot me a text if you have my phone number and say, hey, that was helpful. This is what else I do. I love hearing suggestions too. What else you do, because then I can kind of use that as feedback and maybe use it in a future episode. And that's helpful. If you have the same question or you have the same comment, I bet you another 100 people have it too. It's not just you. So yeah, that's it for today. I thank you for your patience on getting this new season out, you guys. I can't wait. It's going to be a lot of fun. Make sure you subscribe. Spotify, Apple Podcasts. You can even watch them on YouTube. You can subscribe on YouTube. YouTube is Madeline Financial Coaching, and Spotify, Apple, all that is the Couples Money Revelation podcast. You'll see my respectable mug here. I don't know, whatever. Probably in the picture. And I look forward to future episodes, you guys. And remember, stay blessed, stay positive. Everything is going to be great. Work together. And I'll see you next time on the Couples Money Revelation podcast. Have a good day.